Your thoughts on Elon Musk and his departure from Washington?
Hallelujah is what I gotta say. Is it Sunday? Let us all give thanks to the good Lord above. Listen, he is gone, but the musk is still going to linger in the air. We know, as you went through in your intro, that there are so many people that have been impacted by these ridiculous and not thought out cuts. And it's not just the federal workers. It's those constituents of ours, our citizens, that are being impacted the hardest by these cuts. And so here it is. You basically let this guy run wild. And honestly, I feel like all of the cuts to federal employees, that was nothing more than a distraction for the things that he really wanted to do, which is to make sure that there was no oversight over his companies, the companies that were under investigation. This was to kind of keep us busy and distracted. And unfortunately, in the process, we have harmed our federal government, and ultimately we are harming our overall economy.
So literally the cuts that they decided that they wanted to give really to the wealthiest are so big that they exceed the fact that we're cutting people off of their health care and we're cutting people out of their ability to eat. They exceed that. We still have to say, oh, well, we're still in debt. And really, we ain't got nothing to show for it except for the fact that really super rich people will see a lot more money in their pockets. It is truly not a partisan thing, in my opinion, because it's not Democrats, Republicans, or independents only that are going to suffer it's going to be everybody that suffers the harm. And I think that that's really what the conversation needs to be around, is that this isn't partisanship. It is only one party that is pushing back, but it's really that we are fighting not just for Democrats, we're fighting for everybody.
I need to make the case to the American people that not only is Trump a problem, but each and every one of these House Republicans that has decided to go along, to get along, they are a problem as well. They are complicit in all of the harm that is now being inflicted on the American people. So I think that there's something to be said for us digging in when there's real things to look at, such as this $400 million plane from the Qataris, and whether or not that's a violation of the emoluments clause of the Constitution. I think that we need to dig into all this crypto nonsense that he's got going on. I think we need to dig into the fact that it looks like he's giving out pardons for play. You give me money, I will give you, your friends, your whoever you want, a pardon. Like, these things are the things that we typically consider to be ethical issues at a very minimum, and at a very high, corruption. But when we think about where we are in this country, when we think about the level of lawlessness, corruption, unethical behavior that is taking place, I don't know that I can say that I believe that we would ever get to the point that we could actually impeach and convict him so that he's out of office, because clearly he's been through 2 impeachments and he should have been convicted, and he didn't. And in fact, he ended up being reelected. I don't know that that's necessarily the way that we need to go. But I do believe that we should educate the American people about the violations that are taking place as it relates to emoluments clause, as part of the Constitution, and the other constitutional violations that he's engaging in. As well as, I think that we need to do the investigations and discover what is going on. What was this crypto dinner about where people are wearing masks and don't even want to be seen going in there? What's going on with the various pardons that are being given out after certain donors drop a lot of money into his pocket? What's going on with the fact that I think they said 40% of his wealth right now has actually accumulated since he's been in office? I mean, I'm not allowed to make any money at all. I mean, a book deal is quite complicated for me as a low member of 435 in the House, yet he is accumulating wealth and his family members, and he's putting them on trips and they're going out beforehand, and the next thing you know, like, there's all kinds of stuff going on with the Saudi government. There's all kinds of stuff that's going on with the Qataris. Like, what is happening? At a very minimum, we should be shining a light on what is taking place and let the American people for themselves see. And that is what the Oversight Committee can do. Now, we are obviously in the minority at this moment, but it doesn't stop me from being able to do field hearings in the form of like shadow field hearings, where we're going across the country and we're letting people's neighbors be the ones to testify about their experiences, whether they are former employees for the federal government, whether they are someone who is supposed to be receiving government aid of some sort. We need to make sure that people understand what's happening. And I think that there is no one better who can not only do the work, do the investigations, but can also make sure that the word gets out and is communicated. Because regardless of how people may feel, I will always say that Joe Biden was one of the best presidents that we've ever had. But ultimately, it didn't matter if people didn't know what all he was doing. And so I don't want us to get caught in that same way. And it's why I'm throwing my name into the hat to run to be the ranker.